Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and try this again. The last version of this video actually glitched halfway through, and we ended up losing a part of the, actually a larger portion of the stream. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. Please remember, before I get into the content, that you need to understand that I'm not a financial advisor, and the information contained within this broadcast is based upon information that came to me from voices in my head. Amen. Okay, so the reason I say that is because I want people to understand that this is ludicrous to the natural mind. This is a walk of faith. This is inspired divine insight that I was given in a dream that has been an extraordinary walk, an extraordinary walk. If for those of you guys who don't know, this all started on August 21st when I had a dream, and I was visited in my dream. A man came up to ask me if he could pray for me, and I said yes. And when he began to pray, he began to prophesy into my life, and he began to tell me that XRP was going to begin to take off in a period of a week to a week and a half. Okay. Then on August 30th, now I released that dream and it's out there for you to see. On August 30th, I had another dream where I saw this coin hitting 92 cents. I continued to steward this prophetic word for about 2 months and 3 weeks. Then on November 5th, XRP took off and hit 92 cents exactly a week and a half later. Okay, now it's continued to rise because in my dream, remember, he said it would begin to take off. So there's been extraordinary or exceptional confirmation or prophetic fulfillment. However, it is important for me to tell you that he also said, that's right. I see that you and your family are going to have a good Christmas. Okay, then I saw myself taking profits on or about the 28th of December. Now, the profit that I saw myself taking was 10% or less. I don't remember the number, but I knew that it was going to be within that range. I mean, maybe even probably like 8% or less. And the reason why, because the reason why I don't have a specific number on that is because all I saw was a small portion within that range. And I believe that I'll know what amount I will be taking on this day based upon where this actually goes to on that day or by that day. Okay, so what I'm telling you is this, guys. For those of you guys who have been tracking this prophetic word, who have been tracking this prophetic dream, once again, it has been an extraordinary ride. Today, we ended up experiencing a very significant, actually, this is the hour chart. Let me go to the 5-minute chart. This was about the time I did the video earlier. Wait a minute. Was it? Yeah, must have been. This was about the time I did the video earlier, was right about here, right after it crashed to about $2.24, I think is what it was. Yep, 224. And then it was, somewhere up in here, and then it's continued to fluctuate at this range for a while now. This is basically XRP on sale today, guys. Now, here's what I'm telling you, okay? Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot tell you any sort of guarantees as to what is going to happen tomorrow or any time in the future, but I can tell you what I was given prophetic insight or what I believe to be, and it's up to you to test the information that I share that is prophetic in nature. That's what I'm looking for. That is prophetic in nature. And then it's up to you to determine what you decide to do with it. If you partner with it, because faith is that. It's believing in the invisible. Faith is believing in the invisible. So you have to understand this is way different than any sort of market analysis or, professional opinion. This is craziness what's happening right now. I really, really hope. Hang on just a second. So ridiculous. Oh, this is so ridiculous. How do I even get to this place right now? Ah, got it. Wow, that was crazy. I'm telling you, this is the second broadcast that has had an attempted interruption. Last one was successful. I lost over half of the broadcast. This is crazy. But let me tell you something. Opposition is not something new to me. I am very familiar with opposition. This is something that I believe the enemy is wanting to attack to get this off the airways to keep people from understanding what's on the table here. Guys, there are prophetic words of things that are down the pike here. About things that are coming that are going to be, catastrophic in nature. And, monetary financial system collapses, US dollar collapsing, stock market crashing, all sorts of different things. There's even prophetic words about another, how do I say the word? Let me type it. There's even prophetic words about another coming one of these guys. And I don't know if you noticed today, but the governor of California declared a state of emergency over one case. Oh my gosh. You have got to be kidding me. State of emergency. A state of emergency. You've got to be kidding me right now. 2 hours ago, the U.S. reports the first severe human case of bird flu. 2 hours ago. Okay? At the same time, within moments, the governor of California declares a state of emergency because of the U.S. finding one single case. Come on, man. This is such ridiculousness. All right. I don't want to talk about this any further because it's absolutely ridiculous. And it's not even worth giving more attention to. However, this is what the prophets are saying. And so, I don't know if you've been following several ministers, but one specifically, Apostle Joshua Giles, actually wrote a book on the next 10 years. He was featured on Sid Roth. He talks about the coming WAR. He talks about the coming, these types of things. He talks about the systemic monetary collapse and all these different things. He specifically said on a broadcast recently, after I shared my dream publicly, he said that the Lord is even giving people prophetic dreams to lead them to financial provision supernaturally in order to prepare them for the coming days, guys. And so I have all of these, mockers, scoffers, haters, critics, naysayers, negative Nancy's in the comment section talking about God would never lead you to XRP or to a financial, he would never give you a dream. Don't you know XRP is of the beast system and all these crazy things that people come up with? Listen, man, if you haven't paid attention, there was a beast on the back of the US dollar, okay? Freaking all-seeing eye and the pyramid and all these different things, but you didn't have a problem spending those babies, right? Anyhow, my goodness, let me get off this gravy train over here and get back onto what's going on here. So that being said, guys, he gave me a dream that it would take off in a week to a week and a half. Then a few days later that it would hit 92 cents like clockwork. The moment it took off on November the 5th, 10 days later, it hits 92 cents, exactly a week and a half. He said, you and your family are going to have a good Christmas. I just got a response back from somebody that they received this, and they said, I'm sorry to tell you, but Christmas is demonic and all these different things. I'm like, let me tell you something. When all of this stuff comes to pass in a way that only God, right, can do so powerfully and so accurately, to literally land the actual number that it hits. And then in the same dream, he says, you and your family are going to have a good Christmas. All I have to say to those people is we have 7 days, folks. We have 7 days. And this is why I'm making this video, is because I want people to understand what I believe's on the table. Now, when I say what I believe, you have to understand it's because I did my part where I tested this to determine what I believed it to be. You have to make that decision for yourself, because anytime it comes to the prophetic, right, even when Jesus manifested on the scene in who he was, in the fullness of his identity, there were people that rejected him. There were people that accepted him. There were people that esteemed him. There were people that dishonored him. There were people that spat in his face. And there was, come on, like, you have to understand, I am not responsible for your walk. You are. So any decision that you make and the result of that decision is entirely up to you. If you get super blessed on this deal, that's because of your faith. If you get completely smeared on this deal, that's because you chose to make the decision and you tested this word and you believed it to be accurate, knowing that it was based upon voices that I heard. Amen. So that being said, I am making myself very clear. This is a faith journey. This is what walking according to the Spirit looks like. It's completely foolishness to the heart, the carnal mind. Amen. That being said, we've only got 7 days, guys. We've only got 7 days. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that we only have a week here. For those people who believed that it was the Chinese food that I had for dinner that night, I get people, yeah, they're still mocking, they're still scoffing, they're still hating, but I get all these other people that are humble. There's nothing wrong with making a mistake. Let me tell you right now, there's nothing wrong with making a mistake. But it's what you do the moment you've made a mistake. And some people just dumb themselves even further. I'm not kidding. That's what I call it. I call it stuck on stupid. They literally will dumb themselves down in pride even further to say, I'll make up reasons why I'm not wrong. Like that's what people will say when they're faced with a fulfillment, a prophetic fulfillment that comes to pass in ways that is only incredibly glorious. They will then say to themselves, well, fine, I can't be corrected because I'm too arrogant. So I'll continue to make up excuses in my mind why this joker who's up here continuing to post these videos is still winning, right? And so you have to get what I'm saying here. So we've got 7 days, guys. XRP pretty much tanked today. Now, I know people get freaked out when I say those words because they're like, XRP's not tanking. Give me a break. It's just language. Because this is actually normal crypto behavior, but some people don't realize that. And what did this do for you? It allows you to potentially, right? Potentially meaning if it doesn't go down further, it allows you to potentially buy the crypto on a discount, because earlier this morning, right, at actually that was 2:45 in the afternoon. Let's go back even earlier. At 6:45 this morning, it was up to 258. Now it's at 236. You got a 22-cent discount right now on your XRP if you decide to purchase. Point is, the all-time high of XRP is, I think, 385. And it hasn't come anywhere near that for years. It was like 2019. It's been 5 years. This is the closest it's been in 5 years. And so nobody knew this. God did. But watch this. Brendan Biggs had a prophetic word that it would hit $5 just like that. Right? This all started a month and 13 days ago. So if this, comes to pass over the next few days, it's not improbable. Okay, let's just say that, because when crypto takes off on a bull run, if you remember correctly, in fact, let me go ahead and pull it up just for the sake of, let me just get to the point. I believe we are going to have an incredible Christmas. That's why I titled this video, An XRP Christmas to Remember. How many of you guys are walkers, are faith walkers? You're Christians, you're people of faith. You've seen God move, and you know that when he moves, there are times when it is just so glorious, where you're just like, we have this saying in the ministry, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Just like we just got back from New York City. We went on a trip. We prayed for snow. We had 0% chance of snow. 0. Even our host that hosted us basically said, it's just not going to snow. And then the night when we gathered together after we were spending all of our days in New York City as a family, having just an incredible vacation. It was incredible. We go and we gather, and our host says to us, "Did you tell your wife?" And I said, "Did I tell my wife what?" And she says that it's going to snow all night tonight. And I said, "You what?" It's like, you're kidding me. And I looked at the weather, and literally over the next 7 hours, it was 100% chance of snow every single hour on the hourly chart. And they said, God answered your prayers, because we told them we were believing God for snow, and we had prayed about it. And then her father says, "Well, you won't see it though. It won't be there in the morning because it's too hot." And that's what I had said to my family, because my son says there's a large percentage of chance, because he was looking at the weather app. And I said, "Son, that's precipitation." I said, "In order for it to snow, the weather," I said, "that's the warmest day that we're going to be here." I says, "I'm sorry, but it just doesn't look like it's going to snow." And I'm the person that was praying for this with my wife, right? And I even had a dream. That's crazy. I even had a dream before we went on our trip that it snowed while we were in New York City, guys. I was literally a few days before our trip, I had a dream, okay, that it snowed, and I still doubted it. Man, come on, man. Y'all don't even know. So anyhow, we get there, and that night, and the father says, "Well, you won't see it in the morning because it'll be gone by the time you wake up." And my wife says to him, "I have a big God." And guys, we went snow sledding. We went sledding the next morning. We were sledding. Come on, man. So let me tell you about my Jesus, okay? That being said, here we are trekking this prophetic word, and it's absolutely incredible. We're watching this thing go down. It hits that 92 cents in a week and a half, just like he told me in my dream in August. XRP hasn't done anything remotely close to what it's been doing over the past month and a half in 5 years. 5 years. The crypto's only been around for like 7 years. And it's been 5 years since it's done anything remotely close to what it's doing right now. Only one other time in history has it ever been this price. And it's because of the SEC lawsuit that they just recently won, by the way. Folks, I'm telling you, I believe we're about to see an 11th hour miracle. That's all I'm telling you. It's up to you to determine how to steward this, whether you think I'm a freak, whether you think I'm a fake, or whether you can say to yourself, my God, you are glorious. Do you understand? We've only got 7 days. We only have 7 days till Christmas. It's not much time left. And if you saw the charts, it went down instead of up today. But remember, and this is what I wanted to point out. Let me see if I can pull it up. It's not even on this chart. I'll tell you what. Shoot. How do I do this? I'm just going to show you. All right. I'm going to show you here. Is this the one I'm looking for? This is what I'm looking for. Okay. So this right here and this right here. And then this right here. And then this right here. This was what they call a bull flag, guys, because you can see the flagpole. And then you can see before these formed, okay, this would have been kind of the end of the road here. Well, actually here, because you could see it started working its way towards the top. When it breaks through the top of the bull flag, that means we are in a potential bull run that is getting ready to happen. Now, even though it dropped here, it still is above this trend line at the top, meaning it's still maintaining outside of this bull flag, which means that this thing is still prepping for an absolute bull run. Now, this is market analysis, and none of this stuff is guaranteed if you're going by the charts. None of it. However, there is a high probability. People put large amounts of money on that indicator right there, that pattern where it forms that exact pattern on the charts. And that's on the daily chart, meaning it's a very strong pattern. That being said, based upon market analysis, I can't advise you. I'm not a professional trader. All I am is a guy that simply took the course that you can actually find in the description section below if you want to learn how to trade, which I think would be incredible for everybody, because in the coming days ahead, now I'm counting on God to continue to lead me, right, with a cloud by day and a fire by night, as he's doing. Thanks be to God. And other people who follow this insight are able to glean from it. You know, and I've said this in my previous videos, guys, I'm sharing this because it's always my heart to help people. You do understand he came to me and shared this for me. And he simply said to me in my dream that you and your family are going to have a good Christmas. He didn't say you and all your YouTube viewers. So I took this information that was for me, and I began to share it with my community because he knows my nature, that this is my passion, is to be able to help others. And everything that I do in the form of coming up, I always want to take people with me. Now, please remember, it is up to you to test the information, right? To determine whether you think this is from the Lord or not. So any decision you make, again, is on you. That being said, guys, I'm telling you, we've only got 7 days. That's it. Remember, I said this in my previous video that got distorted. In my dream, after he told me you and your family are going to have a good Christmas, I saw myself taking profits on the 28th, but leaving the majority in. Meaning it's even going to continue to go up even further. That's what I saw I didn't see it going up, but the goal or the intent was to leave the majority in. And the only reason I am taking profits on the 28th is because I went all into this. I told you guys that from the beginning, even before it took off. This is a great season to be alive and to follow the voice of God. I appreciate you watching. Take care and God bless.